It's the way that I get lost now in the colors of your skin. And it's how I hear the stars calling brightly, and it's how I'm falling in. It's a puzzle I can't put together. It's a song I can't quite hear. When I try too much to put it in the bottle, when I try to hold it in, and so it comes to me in waves now. If I could
Lonke uhlelo lami elibizwa ukuthi Live Bush Camps Chat with Khaya Tlou. Hello everyone, welcome to my show. It's been, time is flying, time flies. It's another Wednesday and it's our episode 17, Live Bush Camp Chat with Khaya Tlou. And so welcome you all, good evening. It's quite chilly outside, but it's quite warm inside because of all this lighting. I love it. So who's with us this afternoon, this evening, or this morning, or maybe this early or during the day? We have Brandy, we have Cookie, Hoodoo, Janice, Barbara, Arla Ramo, Brian. We have Weedy in Washington. We have Rosalind. We have Janice. Oh, that's it. Actually, we have 25 people. I welcome you all. If you are quiet, hello. And thank you for joining the show. This show, if you are new, this show is all about Live Bush Camps Chat. These live camps that are installed here in Pridelands. So we are coming to you live from the southern part of Balula Nature Reserve. An early here, I'll continue with my speech. We have an early, this is early camp 2. So this is just right outside our camp here at HQ in Pridelands. And you can see these elephants, they love coming here, water and all the snack, before they leave to the north or east or western or southern part of the reserve. So this was actually quite a big herd, and then these are the last individuals to come and drink. So there were beautiful elephant calves, beautiful sub-adults. I love them. So as I was saying, this is what we're going to be discussing about. We have cameras installed here in Pridelands, in Quenga, that's reserve in our eastern part, in our neighboring reserve, which is called Quenga, and also in Cape Town, Penguin Camp. And also we have Hyena Camp, we have Tlou, that's Sutherland in Cape Town, and we have Sutherland is in Cape Town, Mary. Sutherland's in Cape Town, right? I'm just mistaken. Sutherland is a Western Cape. Yes, it's in the Western Cape. Yes, it's in the Western Cape. And then we also have a camera in Boskamp. Yes, Boskamp. When you said Boston, in Boskamp, just I can say southeast of us from here. And we also have the one which is called Siviti, just the northeast of here, where we are right now in the southern part of Greater Kruger National Park. And yes, who's on camera with us? It was Mehdi, and then he left. He's now operating FC. Thank you, Mehdi. And what we're going to be doing, we're going to play some videos here, some live cameras. You saw earlier on there was an elephant, and we have elephant cam 1, 2, and 3. We have Quita cam, we have Quenga waterhole, we have Boskamp, and some are not really working because of some technical issues. We have Mehdi, this is Wild Dogs, This is Wild Dogs camp, and then we have Cape Town there. We have Boskamp. Yes, and then we'll be playing them one by one and see who's live this afternoon, because you know this nocturnal behavior is revealing itself. A Trapper, I can see you. Stinky, I can see you there. Welcome you all. And I'm rocking my pangolin t-shirt, Mehdi. There's a pangolin. This is Temix pangolin. And remember, we have 8 species of pangolin in the world. Some we find them in Africa and some in Asia. And the 4 that we find that is found in Africa, we have the Temix one, which is this one that's here. We have white-bellied and black-bellied. We also have the giant ground. And then when you go to Asia, you'll find Chinese pangolin, Indian, Sunda, and you will also find Philippine pangolin. Yes. So they are from endangered to critically endangered, and some are vulnerable, all of them. And I'm so worried about pangolins, because we don't really see them in the bush. I've been in the bush for quite some time, but I haven't seen a pangolin live. I only saw them on the internet, on YouTube, Google, something like that. That I haven't seen a pangolin live in the bush. I don't know where these people taking them. And I only saw tracks and signs of pangolins. I can see you, Gemma McCarthy. Yes, I can see you. Sihle Elton, Mr. West, thank you so much. At home they call me Mr. West because my daughter's name is Khaya. Temi, I can see you there. And Mary, let's go through our videos, brother. Our cameras, actually. Let's go to our cameras. Let's go to our cam. We're starting with Elephant Cam 3 and see what's happening here at Elephant Cam 3. There might be some life. So this is where we saw elephants earlier on, but it doesn't look as if there's elephants. But it's a little bit dark. You can see it's changing from daylight to evening time, which is an IR or infrared light that reveals this nocturnal behavior. And what do you see right over here? It's just a camera. There's no lighting that will disturb like animal behavior. It's just a camera on the IR, so we can see this without disturbing any animal. So there's nothing happening there. Mary, this is Elephant Cam 2. So this is like very same area, just one area, but we have 3 cameras that are looking in 3 different angles. And then we have hyena, Dan Cam. So what's happening here? It's been happening here at night, but when I go to my live drive during the day or afternoon, I don't find any hyenas around here. So you can see it's a bit quiet. Maybe during the course of the show it will be pumping, because there are quite a lot of hyenas, as this is a bigger clan of hyenas that you find here in Pride Conservancy. Let's go to another one, Mary. Oh, let's go to CVT, one of my favorite cameras. CVT is very busy. We see nyanyalas, impalas, wild dogs, buffaloes. We see all sorts of beautiful things. Oh, beautiful. So you can see the CVT there. So this water hole is just right next to the camp, just like us here. So when you're chilling at the deck there, you can see all these beautiful animals coming to drink without disturbing them. Oh, so you can see there's some insects flying there. It might be a moth, because the butterfly is actually sleeping. So if you notice these flying insects at night, you mustn't say it is a butterfly. Actually, those are moths. When they're static, you'll see their wings. They don't fold them upwards. They fold them like on the sides. So that's the difference between the butterfly and a moth. The moth are attracted by these lights at night. And some of the insects, they just come too close to the camera. Some, they just want to break the screen of the camera, or the camera glass there, because I believe that insects, they can see light that we can't see as humans. So they're attracted to that kind of light. Mary, let's go to another camera, brother. Mary, I can see you. So I'm waiting for Critter Cam. You might be seeing something on Critter Cam, because it's a very, very busy camera. All these small little things that we see around there. Ah, Ralph from Zim. Hello from Zimbabwe. So Mehdi is trying to grab us a camera here, but what happens is it's giving him some technical issues. He's going to Critter Cam now. Let's see Critter Cam. Ralph, are you Ndebele or Shona? Because I'm Ndebele, Ralph. Oh, this is Critter Cam. Actually, it's just right next to us here. Small little pond like this. So the person who fills this pond most of the time is Brian. You'll see that green bucket of some sort. Filling up the water hole here, making sure that we give these animals the water, especially they need them mostly when it's very hot and when it's very dry in the bush in the winter. Catherine, I can see you. Oh, you also love critter camera tropper. I love it. Prena, I can see you. Mary, so what we're going to do, it looks like this is the aerial top view of critter camp. So it gives us time to see these animals from a side and also on top. And then we will be checking on our pre-recorded clips that these cameras captured the previous week. Mary, what do we have, brother? Yes, we have Rochethlof, the coldest, the cold place in South Africa, the coldest place in South Africa. But this will change in winter. It will be snow white. So you can see, actually this was after rain. So it rained a few days ago. It rained, and then I'll show before, and this is after, and then Mary will be showing us before when the rain started. So we'll see the difference between that day before this and now, because what happens is you can see this place also receive a better rain. It's in the Karoo, but these still do receive more rain. You can see the difference between this place and the Lowveld. So here we have woodlands and savanna, grasslands. So you can see you have, this is a Karoo biome with all these small little plants or plantations and grasses. But you can see there's less grasses there compared to our area, and you will find animals that they are adapted to that kind of a habitat. So you'll see springboks there. You will see black wildebeest, because here we have the blue wildebeest, and we also have eland. Here in this Rochethlof, they also have elands. So those are the animals that they are built for drought. And I won't forget to sip my juice. Medi, let's go to another Rochethlof, brother. Rochethlof, Sutherland. Oh, Boscam camera before we go into Rochethlof. Mary's it's got Boscam camera at long last. Yes. So, what is Boscam? The previous camera of Rochethlof, this is Boscam. So this is happening live today on the 23rd of March. This is Wednesday, 2022. So there's nothing much happening there, but this is the area that we see with all these beautiful species like your lions we see here. We see cheetahs, we see nyalas, we see monkeys and all sorts of beautiful animals. And it's one of the busiest camera. So it's in Rietspruit, Mary, Boskamp in Rietspruit. Oh, Ralph, you are Shona, but you know a bit of Ndebele? Yeah, I'm still learning my Shona, brother. Masquera, Mamuka say, Masquera say. That's good evening and good afternoon, right? Masquera, Mamuka. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying my best. Miss Missia, I can see you. Oh, thank you. It's a fun 24/7 hour activity with different hosts. Yes, it's a live presentation, Miss Missia. We just stumbled across. Thank you so much. It happens every Wednesday. It was Thursdays, but now it's Wednesdays, every Wednesdays, between 15 minutes before 7 p.m. Central African time and up to 19:45, 6:45 until 7:45 p.m. every Wednesday, Central African time. Mary, hit me with a pre-recorded video, brother. Yes, thank you so much, Mary. Timmy Zulu, I'm good. I'm doing good, beautiful people. I'm so glad that I'm over the moon, because one of our female wild dogs, 4 wild dogs, 2 males and females, one female is suspected, is known to be pregnant. So I'm still crossing fingers and holding my fist that it gives birth, or it ends here in Pridelands. It's on the screen. So we have all sorts of beautiful things here, Mary. You can see there's monkeys, there's impalas here, and sometimes you see nyalas, and the monkeys. They're also the ones that are very naughty. They're the ones who break these cameras. You can see there's a small little monkey there that's approaching a camera, and you'll see what's going to happen there. One of my beautiful or my favorite animals to watch when I'm at camp, because they're always busy doing something, but I don't let them get into the house. Look at that, mom grabbing it. So what's happening here, you'll see in the bush, when you come to a low field, you'll see there's a lot of baboons compared to the population of these vervet monkeys, because baboons, what they do is they don't have a specific or a fixed breeding season, so they breed all year round. So these ones, they prefer to breed when the conditions are favorable for them. So what they do is they will wait for winter, and then they wait for winter to finish, then they start mating, and then they will give birth in summer, because what happens is their gestation period, which is their pregnancy period, is about 5 months, and then the baboons about 5.5 to 6 months. And so baboons are more sexually active compared to the monkeys. Oh, and we rely on them all the time when they give us the alarm calls, because if we find tracks or you don't find tracks, but you listen to monkeys alarming, you will have to watch the monkey on where he's facing, then you rush to an area. But sometimes it gets to be very, very interesting, because they can see things from far, so you will think maybe that cat or that snake, it's nearby, whereas it's like a bit of a distance. Then we have to scan around and track. So sometimes what they do is they really, really make me track. Mary, hit me with something, brother, so I can see. We're waiting for something to emerge from the darkness there. Yes, let's go for the lines in red sprayed. So I love these lions. I can't wait to spend time with them. Actually, I haven't seen these lions in red sprayed. I only saw the females. Remember that time when we were looking for Bucket when she was going for surgery. I only saw the females, and the males I haven't seen them yet. So I can't wait to see these boys. So here are the only 2 boys. So there are 3 boys in total. And these boys are the only boys there in red sprayed, so they won't be like bothered by any male coming from or a nomadic male coming in. So they will be living their own life. But what they do is they don't lose their natural behavior, where they have to roar to advertise their territory. They have to send mark. They have to be ready at all times, because they are not really aware that there won't be boys coming in. So yes, that's beautiful. Red sprayed the boys. And just a few minutes before we went live, there were, I think those boys are 2 boys, because I had like loudest roars coming from the north, because north is just here, just right at the back. There's a boundary here between us and Jejani. So Jejani is not an area that you traverse with, because they're off-road, and it's not off-roading. It's a different story when you go to a safari, and also a live safari. If an animal goes off-roading or in the bush, you can't follow it. So I had them coming from there. Maybe they will be coming down, because we have beautiful lions here, and our lions are so interesting. If you can catch our free virtual safaris, mostly on Fridays, and if you can catch our daily safaris that are paid drives, private virtual safaris, you can follow up on them, while myself or Brent here on drive, taking you for a live drive in Pridelands. And what happens is we have a pride which is called Ngati pride. So Ngati means blood in Shangaan. It has 6 females. Those are 6 mothers, fully grown females, and we have 2 males that are roaming around here, which is their territory. And we have this one female who's called Lakitha. She joins the pride, and she leaves the pride sometime, but she spends most of her lifetime alone. And then we have this breakaway pride that broke away from the main Ngati pride, which we call them the Ngati breakaway pride. Those 2 females with 4 cubs. Then this one, which is the main pride, it has about 8 cubs, but at some stage when I got here, they had about up to 13, 15. Oh, let's go live to Boskamp. Mary, there's something at Boskamp. Hey, Ida, I can see you. Mary, is this happening live, bro? This is happening. Yes, 23 is happening like 5 minutes after 7. This is live. And these are a black wildebeest. These are black wildebeest, the ones that you see all the time migrating each and every year from Tanzania to Kenya, Kenya to Tanzania. But these ones, they don't really migrate because they roam around the Kruger National Park, which is a huge space. So after fences being built, so they couldn't migrate from here to the north. So beautiful gnu's. So you won't find the black wildebeest here. And so these ones we call the, sometimes they call them brindled gnus. Beautiful animals. So you can see they are not only active during the day, they're also active during the night. And you find out here there's one male with the females, and sometimes you find that it's a bachelor group. So what happens is they spend their time on their own, these males, and what they do is they protect a certain territory while they're keeping all the males away with the females. And sometimes you see them on their own without the females, and sometimes you see them with other animal species like your zebras, your giraffes. You also see them with the impalas, and they also have a good relationship with the monkeys and baboons because they know that there will be alarming when or where there's danger. Oh, that was beautiful. Real time. Mary, what do you have, brother? What do we have? What do we have? Let's go for another. Oh, okay, I came next to a pretty quick clip. No problem, Mary. We're going for live things. If there's something live, it's okay to stop me, brother, and we jump to that live action. Thank you so much. Oh, Squid Cam. Actually, this was my favorite clip because it took me some time to think about this species that's going to land here. Pause there, Mary. Thank you so much, brother. Just pause there. Thank you so much. So this clip, it really gave me a hustle a little bit because you can see this bird, but you can't really see it speak now because you could see it looks like a honey guide. And came to a point that at first I thought it was a greater honey guide. And then it came to my point that it was a lesser honey guide. And then I was like very confused. What do you think this is? Because I do have an answer. What do you think this bird is? It is a honey guide, but is it a greater or a lesser honey guide? That's a greater honey guide's call. And these ones, they also have a relationship with the honey badger because they feed on insects, they feed on bees, they feed on bees' larvae, they feed on the bees' pupae. Prena, lesser honey guide, beautiful bird. So Prena saying lesser honey guide. You can play it, Mary. You can push that play button, brother. Let's see this beautiful bird. Look at that. You can see the beak is dark, is black. You can see the under part of its belly, it's white, and on top there, it's a yellowish and brownish again. So it's tertiary feathers a little bit brownish and yellowish with their secondary, primary and secondary, tertiary, secondary feathers, tertiary feathers, primary and secondary feathers. Yes, the secondary feathers are yellowish and brownish. Oh, you love the story of the honey guide, Willie. I also love it. So that was a, because I'm getting an answer from Prene. That was a lesser honey guide, yes. Because if you look at this bird, it's dark and it's a little bit light white underneath, and then on top is a little bit brownish. So honey guides, greater honey guides, the males will have black beard or black patch on just on their under part of their lower jaw, and then the females will have streaks, black streaks underneath here, and they will have some like a nearly white belly, and they will have a yellowish spot just right on top here on their, I call this part the corner of their wings. They're yellowish there, and then these ones you can see they don't have those, and then just having this white patch on the other side of their belly or their lower bone. Then they are just brown on top. And I thought at first it was a chick of a greater honey guide, but I noticed that mom is not here, and the chicks of a greater honey guide, they look very different, because they look brownish on top, then they look yellowish just right underneath. They look very fluffy. So this is a lesser honey guide. Mary, what's happening, brother? We're going to check what's happening live. Ah, Jenny, how are you? How are you? You welcome. Nothing on the cameras. Yes, we can continue with clips, Mary. Thank you so much, brother. Willie, I haven't followed any, but I've tried following it, but it was like such a long distance, and I decided to quit. But it never happened here in the bush. It happened at home, because we also have honey guides outside, even if they're not so plenty now, because the number of bee hives or number of bees where I'm from, it's going down. So we don't have a lot of bees now. So we have less of these honey guides at my place. So, oh, Mary, could I come? Who's here? Whoa, a Burchell starling and a beautiful emerald spotted wood dove. Just that I reminded Mary very late. I wanted to show you something that was very interesting. That's something that I only read about and I saw on the internet, but I saw it happening live. That was a Friday last week when I was on a bumble with Brenty. We're driving from the western part back to HQ. So on our way we saw a Burchell starling female and a male. And what was so interesting was that they were feeding on this huge chick, and that huge chick was from a greater spotted cuckoo. It wasn't a starling's chick, and that was parasitism. So you could see that these cuckoos, they are so smart, because they come from Central Africa, and then they come land here in the southern part of Africa, and then they won't build nests, these males or females, and then they would be targeting certain species of birds to lay their eggs in their nests. And what's so interesting again is that they lay eggs nearly similar in terms of coloration and the size with their hosts. And you will see these great spotted cuckoos that will be looking for Burchell starlings, and then you find the Dedrick's cuckoo looking for these weavers, and then a female will quickly go inside there, then they lay their eggs, and then they go out. And some cuckoos, they kick their eggs, their host eggs out of the nest, but some they don't. They just leave them there. But what happens is, because these cuckoos are so big and they feed so big, they demand more food, especially when they're chicks. They will overpower that one. It might suffer when it hatches, and then it will eventually die. But what happens is, these other cuckoo species, when they're chicks and when they are ready to fly, they will stay quiet for the rest of the year until the next season. They won't leave, but some they do leave with the adults or their parents to Central Africa when it's winter here, and some will just stay here and then they will keep quiet all the time. They won't call, they won't do anything. Then they will just leave the following year when they migrate to other places or to a special place where they find all the food. Mary? Yes, we're going for elephant with a very interesting trunk, and it's becoming our famous elephant on drive, because we saw it this. I think I saw it this morning also. I even saw it the day before yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you can see it has a short trunk, so it might be a snare that is left by people who are poachers or who are hunting for meat. They're also poachers. They leave them here in the bush, but you can see how amazing these animals are, because it adapted without the rest of its trunk. Because the elephants, you know that they need those tip of their trunk to pick up all the smaller things with their trunk, like the small little pieces of leaves, or maybe something like a sand, because they like picking up sand, or they just suck sand with their trunk, and then they spray themselves. But this one has survived until this day. It's such a beautiful thing to see. And this is also Prideland's HQ elephant camp. So when you're at the veranda, you can see this action happening live while you're watching it on a screen on YouTube. Mary? Let's go to our next video, brother. Okay. Short clip of a Guinea fowl. Mary, I chose this picture because I love them. I love them Guinea fowls. I love them Guinea fowls. As you can see, this is a Guinea fowl flock, family. So these are the animals or birds that you hear. And there was this one time where we nearly saw a leopard. We missed it with few seconds, and they were exposed by these birds. So they make a huge noise, and they go to the topest branch in a tree and look directly to the area where the lion or a leopard is. And then what's so interesting was seeing these birds. We don't really see them when they nest, but you see them with chicks. So because they can lay up to 30 eggs, and then they use a ground nest. They do perch. They do have a back toe, but they prefer to be on the ground, and they prefer these complicated bushes where predators like wild cats, like your leopards, your jackals, caracals, servals, you don't really have an easy access to them. And there's this one Guinea fowl species. Actually, it's a type of a Guinea fowl that's my favorite. Have you heard of it? Have you heard of a vulturine Guinea fowl? If you are with your phone, they just search for vulturine Guinea fowl. One of my favorite bird to watch. He has a bald skull with a little bit of feathers on its back head, and then it's bluish. Yo, it's beautiful. Don't know you have seen a vulturine. So we also have about 6 types of Guinea fowls. We have vulturine, we have plumed Guinea fowl, we have black Guinea fowl, helmeted, we have white-breasted Guinea fowl, and we also have a crowned Guinea fowl. And these ones that we're watching right here, those are helmeted guinea fowls because of this helmet-like head or crown on their head. Yes, but it's a big family. So guinea fowls are successful, if I can put it that way, because if you can see the youngsters or the chicks, they have a different coloration compared to the adults. Because the adults, they are gray with white spots and blue and reddish face. And these chicks, instinctively, they've learned that if there's a bird of prey or there's a predator lurking around, they learn to sit still. They freeze. Even if you can walk next to them, they just freeze. And what's so interesting is that they all look the same in terms of coloration, these adults. Do you know how to differentiate between a male and a female just looking at them? I need some answers. Oh, Ida, that's your favorite animal? Elephant. But Chukudu is my friend. His surname is Chukudu. That means a rhino. Yeah, Chukudu is a rhino. Or even Jenny loves the elephants. So do you know the difference between a male and a female guinea fowl? Because they look the same. Just by looking at them. But if you don't know, I'll let you know. If you don't know, I will let you know. Difference between a male and a female guinea fowl. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Yes, the difference between a male and female guinea fowl is when you look at these birds when they walk, maybe in a flock or maybe in pairs. You'll see the one that looks a little bit smaller and the one that will look a little bit bigger. And the one that will look a little bigger, most of the time you'll see it like it raises its wings a little bit to make itself look bigger. And when it runs, it opens its wings like this. It lifts up its wings, and most of the time that is a male. The female don't really do that. They always like their wings attached to their body. Then they just walk and they don't just run around, because the males also, they like bothering the females around a flock or in a flock. You'll see them chasing females around. Then you'll notice that's the male trying to make itself very bigger. Arla Ramo is saying the female is the one who lays the eggs. Yes, Arla Ramo, I agree with you 100%. Yo, Mary, let's check our live cameras, brother, and see how it's going, babe. Yo, thanks a lot more. There's nothing yet around. You can see also the penguin cam is very empty because something tragic happened. Janet took our favorite, beautiful, our loved ones, our penguin, African penguins chicks. Oh, Mary, let's go to our pre-recorded clip, brother. Going back to Postcam. Thank you so much, Mary. Yes, Postcam. Oh. So this is Postcamp. It's the 19th, just right after 5 p.m. And you can see there's impalas, there's a kudu, and there is a nyala on the right. So they will be coming almost closer to the screen here, or closer to a camera. So I will show you the difference between a kudu and a nyala. When you go to a safari, if you're new on a safari, you'll see, sometimes you might get confused between animals. And then these two animals, they belong to this group called Tragelaphini, which are spiral horned animals. But these ones you won't see horns because they are both females, and the males have horns. So you can see the coloration is not really the same, but you can see they have stripes. They have vertical stripes on their body. And this tells that this is a difference between a nyala and a kudu. So a kudu male look exactly the same as the coloration of the females, but the nyala, which is on the right on your screen, the male looks very different to a female. It looks black with gold socks or gold legs, and then with beautiful spiral horns. And what they do is they prefer to be in almost the same habitat, because they both prefer to be in thickets. And what they do is they either freeze or flee. And if you check them walking, they step register. So that simply means the hind leg or hind track, it steps on top of the front leg. So that is to reduce noise when they walk in these thickets. Beautiful. And then other interesting thing about guinea fowls, going back there, is that they fall in this one umbrella with the grouse, the chickens, and the turkeys, which is called the galliformis, or the jolliformis, or galliformis. That's the family they fall in. So Mary, let's go to another clip, brother. Let's go to another clip, my man. Yes, Aralamo, you keep thinking about the white dots on the hip. Yes, on Nyala, but not on kudu. Yes, and if you notice that the other part of their tail is white, so that acts as a follow me sign. So who's here, Mary, on the 17th? Or who was here on the 17th of March 2022? Okay. Oh, a porcupine. So this is our resident porcupine these days. It's so interesting seeing porcupine coming to critter camp and drink here. So it means it has a den site here. So, but even if it doesn't have a den site, it can exchange den sites if it's not really disturbed. But if it's comfortable, it might utilize the very same den site. And you will see this porcupine. So there's this tree called a tamboti tree, Spirostechis africana. That's its botanical name. Yeah, speaking scientific things now. Yes, a tamboti tree. It's a tree that you don't do your braai or your barbecue with, because the smoke coming from the woods or the fire, it smells very nice. It smells like it has that beautiful aroma. But after that, your eyes might get itchy. You might have blocked nose, and you might have like sore tummy or stomach ache. And then if you braai your meat with those coals, it might be a problem. You will enjoy your braai or your barbecue, but after that, oh, live on critter camp, Mary, we live on critter camp. Oh, look, we live on critter camp, Mary. Look who's on critter camp right now. And let me keep my voice a little bit lower, because you can see the ears. It's just right here. It's happening. It's about 4 meters. Hello, Seavid. How are you? This is an African Seavid. Look. It stopped drinking because it could hear my voice. This is beautiful. Look at this animal. You won't see them during the day. Actually, they just nocturnal species. Wow, here it goes. Look at the coloration. It's like a leopard-like creature. Whoa, it is beautiful. It's just here. And if I could climb into that window with a torch, I would have seen it. African seaweed. And what's so great about them is that they utilize these thickets. They don't use holes as they are dead. They want these thick bushes, grasses. They'll be hiding there the whole day, and then they'll be emerging at this time when the darkness comes. Oh, whew, that was beautiful. And it's looking for insects, but their favorite meal is a millipede. So we have less millipede now, but yeah, it will struggle to find one, but it will be feeding on, if there's some berries or fruits around, it will go for them. And yes, I was talking about a porcupine. So it feeds on this tamboti tree, and then what happens is it's tannin, it's poisonous, but they eat them. Not only the porcupines, the giraffes, you'll see the kudus, they do feed on that. Sometimes you'll see the elephants feeding on that, because when they have a stomach bug, they will eat that poisonous or toxins that comes with the tannin of the tamboti tree, just to remove them. So when you see feeding signs of a porcupine, you won't see them on top of a tree or in the middle of a tree, just on the lower part of a tree, where the trunk starts from the roots. Just when it emerges, you see there is nibbles, porcupine, and you'll see them digging. And talking about tracks and signs now, when you see in the bush something was digging for tubers or roots, those porcupines, they do that. Porcupines, when they dig, they only dig on one side until they find that thing. You only see this one hill of sand or heap of sand next to a hole. Then the honey badgers, because when they dig, they turn 360. Then you'll see this island, or a volcanic island with a hole inside. Then you must know that is a honey badger. Yes, Jenny, that's our regular visitor. Yo. So it means they're here, and it's so interesting that in the morning, after I drive, you see all tracks and signs of these civet, but you don't see them. But today we just saw it. Beautiful. Mary, let's go, brother. Let's go, I mean, let's go to see VT Cam. Yes, Tropper on, and there are monkeys using them for fur against the parasites. Yes, beautiful. Oh, we have the eddies. What's the drive without the eddies? What's the creator cam, or what's the live bush cam still, I mean, without the eddies? You can see beautiful eddies, and if you are there at CVT, or if you were there on the 16th, that's, man, this is an old video. It's like the 2nd of February, the 16th of February, I mean. But yeah, I loved it because man, I think I shoved in this clip because I just love the baby elephants, brother. Because I've noticed that this week we didn't really have elephant cuffs of some sort. So I was like, no, let me push in there. So you can see it was a sunny day, beautiful sky, beautiful clouds, and beautiful behavior of elephants. And it's so great seeing and watching these little champions trying to figure out how to use their trunk. And sometimes you'll see them kneeling and drinking straight from their mouth, because they can't really use this trunk for the first few months. You can see it's trying to feed on grasses, trying to nibble apart, and the mothers will be teaching them which fruits to take and which fruits not to take, and what's the best feeding ground and what's the best plants to go for, best grasses and leaves. So the small breeding herd, and we were quite lucky to have a breeding herd around Brighton's a few days ago. And even today I heard that there was a breeding herd in the western part, just at the Leopard Dam. Yes, a big family idea. Ah, Irina, I can see you there. Check the sky. Hello. Mary. Let's go to our next clip, bro. Let's go to our next clip, brother. Yes. Let's see what we have. Oh, some Springbok. So this is a beautiful animal, eh? So it's beautiful animal. It's a very famous animal in South Africa, and I can say in Africa it's also a very famous animal, because our Springbok, our rugby team, South African rugby team, their emblem or their logo is this animal, and you won't find this in the Kruger Park, because they prefer to be in the arid places. So you find them in the Karoo, you find them in the Western, you find them in the Eastern Cape, and I used to see them every day when I was still working at Samara in the Eastern Cape. Poem called The Plains of the Kamdebu. So actually it's talking about everything and every migration or movements of animals used to be around there, and that lady who wrote that book grew up in Kamdebu area. So it's a beautiful animal, but smaller than an impala, because they can weigh up to 48 kilograms. And then impalas, they can go up just above 50 kilograms or up to 60 kilograms. Small little animal. You can see the ones with the thicker horns. You can see this one, and much heavy. It's a male. The females, they have thinner horns, and their horns, they are not as heavy as these ones of a male. So it's browsing on a karoo bush there. So I'm not sure whether this is a kapok bos or snow bush or a karoo bush, but I think this is a karoo bush with the yellow flowers, because this area has a lot of karoo bush, and then you see there's these ones with, but this one is not a kapok bos, because a kapok bos, like snow bush, has to have white flowers on it, and then it looks like wool or cotton. So this one I'll go with a kapok bos, a karoo bush. Beautiful Springboks. Wow. And you will see them pronking or trotting. So what happens is they can jump just right in the air, bouncing with their four legs like that, boom, boom. And they do that most of the time when they see a predator, or when these males or females just playing around. But when they see a predator, like that, because they're telling a predator that we are fitter, we are faster than you, we are smarter, and we are fast. You want to catch us. There's nothing really happening at our live camps. Thank you so much, Aralamo. Let's go to Tlou. Let's go to Tlou. Oh, it's nighttime, maybe. Oh, and also a Springbok. So you can see it's a different one, and a different time of the day. It's nighttime, so that simply means they're also active at night. And these animals are so interesting. They're just like these goats that I saw in the Northern Cape. So they actually, I forgot the goat's name. So those goats, they made them, it's a combination of two goat species, and then these goats, they create them to thrive throughout like dry areas. So this area is dry, and then these animals, they can go days without water. So what happens is, if there's water available, they will be drinking almost every day, no problem. But what happens is they feed on these plants, and then they get the moisture from that. And what I've noticed with these antelopes is that you'll see their droppings looks very different each and every season, especially summer and winter season. And most of the time, some antelopes, what they do, because they know that there's not a lot of food around in dry season or winter, they will be reducing the moisture in their droppings. And then they will be feeding mostly early in the morning, when they know that there's a little bit of moisture in these grasses or plants or leaves. And then they will they will dig a hole. Some of them, they do dig holes, then they sit in there just like our dogs. And some, they will just minimize their movements during the day. They will be sitting in shades. So that's so interesting to see that happening. And you'll see they're dropping some, in summer, their droppings, they appear like tear, but some of them in winter, they appear as pellets. Very smart. So that's why animals, it's easier for them to go for days without drinking water, especially these antelopes. Mary, let's get to another one, brother. Oh, CVET. Yeah, this is one of my favorite clip, Mary. So this warthog. Actually, we saw a warthog this morning, right, Mary, on our drive. So it's huge warthog, but it was like, you can say 2 times the size of that warthog that we saw running away from an elephant. And as we all know that elephants, when they get to a water hole, when they see an animal, and when they want to be naughty, they chase everyone. You've seen them chasing buffaloes, we've seen them chasing warthogs, just like now. We've seen them chasing impalas, chasing lions, chasing wild dogs. And it happened live when this group of elephants chasing these 4 wild dogs. I was at the leopard dam on the western part. It was so interesting, but a little bit scary at the same time. But I knew that the elephant wasn't angry at us. It was myself and Marcel. And then they were chasing these wild dogs. And then this wild dog came to the car. It went past the car. And the elephant came, just went to the front and came back again to the back. And we were just relaxed and we were enjoying the sighting at some point. It was beautiful. So you can see these warthogs. Actually, warthogs, they grow huge. They can grow up to 150 kilograms. They are bigger than an impala, not in terms of height, but in terms of weight. They're huge, and we saw this huge tusker this morning, just right next to its den site, or its sleeping hole, or its mound, and it has these huge warts. So you'll see these 2 sets of warts. And then that's a male. And the females, they only have 1 set of warts. And they were like huge, almost this size, almost my whole hand, like that. That was huge. And some warthogs, like these tusks on their lower jaws, they're not really exposed until they open their mouth. But this one, it's tusk on the lower part. They were like here outside. So you could see how sharp they are and how long they are. And that's why it's a no-no to stand at the entrance of an active den site. And you, yes, showing some water. Thank you, Mary. And you could see leopards. What they do is they do chase warthogs, especially when they are not as huge. But what happens is most cats, especially the leopards, because warthogs, they weigh more than leopard. So leopards will just sit on top of a den site, just right on top of the entrance. They will be waiting for a warthog to come out. And when they come out, they will be grabbing them with their claws. But what happens is warthogs are also smart. When they go inside the den site, they don't just go in there and just sleep. When the sun goes down, they get to the den entrance, but on a reverse. They slowly go in, and they sit there for quite some time, and they look around. Then slowly by bit, they get inside. And then when they go out in the morning, they shoot straight out, because they know they don't really know what's happening outside there, because they know that if they can sit there and watch, some they do, but the most experienced one, they just shoot out at the den, because they know that there might be a predator lurking around, just keeping quiet and waiting for them to come. Yes, that's the story of the warthogs. Matthew Gee. Do you see that? Another, Matthew Gee. It's like 1945, brother. Yes, let's do a last clip, man. Let's do a last clip. Thanks, brother. Oh, Adla Ramo, I'll come back to you with the warthogs. You have a question there, I'll sort it out. Oh, this is beautiful birds that everyone who stays in the bush, especially when summer approaches, will be competing or having a competition on which one is going to record or hear a woodlands kingfisher calling for the first time in summer when they arrive. So these ones are intra-African migrants. So what they do is that they migrate this side, and they will leave when winter is gone. Then they will go up Central and North Africa. They'll be staying there. I haven't mastered the call yet, and you'll see them. After doing that, they like going to water and have a swim. Then when they get there, you'll see them. When they perch, they open their wings, and they're brighter compared to the brown-hooded kingfisher, and the striped kingfisher is also bigger than the striped kingfisher. Yes, do warthogs only use those tusks for defense or also for grazing? So what they do, they use this tusk for defense, and they also can dig with them, especially these ones underneath. But what they do is, it depends on how long they are. Because when they dig, they mostly use their nose. They don't use tusk. They use their nose because that nose, you can see, is like square shaped. So it's like a shovel. So those ones like for protection. And if you can see them, they're viciously sharp because they rub against the ones on the upper jaw. So they are like a very sharp knife. Beautiful people, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for questions and comments. I really appreciate them. That's Ndebele. Thank you. I'm saying thank you very much, Ndebele. And thank you so much for your time, Medi. Thank you so much for your updates, brother. Thank you so much for sticking with me until this time of my show, and I will see you. Yes, and we have a free drive on Friday, and tomorrow we have an afternoon drive, Medi, our private virtual safari drive. And if you want to go with me on a safari or rent you on a safari, you can do that. And thank you so much, Medi, for putting a link to the free virtual safari on Fridays. That's 6:15 Central African time. That's PM, South African Standard Time. And yes, thank you so much. Next week I won't be here. I'll be on leave. I'm going for my 14 days leave on Tuesday. And I'll be seeing you all in 2 weeks' time on my Life Bush Camps Chat, episode 18. And hopefully things will be up and about, and the animals will be very busy so that we can chat more about them and their behavior. Thank you so much, beautiful people. I really, really appreciate your time. And Catherine, I see you. Nunu Jobe. Hello, Nunu Jobe. Nunu Jobe, before I leave, Nunu Jobe, if you can check him, Nunu Jobe is a guy from KZN. He's a barefoot ranger. He's a guy who walks the bush or the wilderness on foot or barefoot. He doesn't wear any shoes. He, like, not only in the bush, not only in winter, not only in summer, every day in the bush. That's Nunu Jobe. Thank you so much for joining, brother. And yeah, really appreciate it. I will see you in 2 weeks' time. And the ones who purchase the tickets for private virtual safari, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. I love you. Ngintanda noke makhaya. Lo, usesengu Khaya Tlou. This is Life Bush Camps Chat. Thank you so much.